So Tasha Newcombe is a 21-year-old influencer dating a 16-year-old TikToker, and it's so stupendously weird. Not only on the face of it, but with all the weird stuff of how this situation fully came about, and some of the hilariously embarrassing things that Tasha has said to dismiss everyone. It's definitely not working. It's so wrong, daft, and there are genuinely quite a few stupid claims here. So let me show you why this TikTok creep is so terrible. So hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Jake Baz, and this is a bit of a rough one to go through. Tasha Newcombe is a 21-year-old social media influencer and a naughty site model, currently in scandal for, of all things, her relationship. As her boyfriend Marko, who is another well-known UK TikToker, is a fresh-spawned 16-year-old. Tasha's known for just being this typical influencer. Meanwhile, Marko is known for stuff like this.
Satnin girl, you alright?
Satnin girl, you alright?
Satnin sugar lips, you alright?
Satnin treacle, you alright?
Satnin sugar plum, you alright?
Satnin darling, you alright?
Satnin girl, you alright?
If I was a girl, I'd have run off a bridge. This entire situation is so weird and odd, and it's so odd to me that Tasha acts so desperate in this entire situation. She tries to pivot it all as normal and dismiss everyone else, and it clearly doesn't work. I was introduced to this situation for, of all things, this really bad clip.
But that's nothing against what you two, like that's just society in general.
I think that's only because of the social media though, because not gonna lie, when I was 16 I was seeing a 24-year-old. No one batted an eyelid. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not even sure how to react to this. So because she was exploited at 16 with a 24-year-old, that means that she could do something similar here and it'd be fine? Make it make sense. How is this an argument to try and save the normality of this relationship that's so odd? It's done me in. Please remember that he just got his first ever graded exams back about 2 weeks ago. And he is 2 years away from going to university. And you compare it to Tasha, who is the age of actually completing university, a 3-year experience. It's just so mental. We have so much to sift through on this because it is genuinely harrowing, some of the stuff. So if you enjoy the video at any point, please do hit the like button and subscribe. We're getting to 30k and I would love to see you back. Firstly, let me just say that in this situation, in the UK at least, it is entirely legal. But does it make it morally right? No. I'm no moral compass at all, but I do think that there is definitely a massive experience gap in life between these two. Maybe Marko's just with her so she can buy him vapes. But this experience gap only becomes more evident as you see all of the stuff around this. So they've been dating for a few months and it was a very, very hard launch, and I don't know why they came out so hard with it. With Tasha saying, crazy how someone can make you happier in a few weeks than anyone else has in your whole life. Well, yeah, I'm sure about that, Tash. Where are they dancing at an under-18s club? I hope he's only on the J2Os, Tasha. You better not be playing him. And we even got on a podcast, which I'm gonna go through later, a beautiful rendition of how they met.
So, let's dive into it. How did you two meet?
I'll start us off. So basically, she liked to film my TikToks or Instagram, right?
Instagram.
And
Saying it was all you.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, and I dropped her a little message. I said hello, we started a little conversation. Obviously, I got a Snapchat, and then I got to know her a bit better. Obviously, I told her my age, and she was like,
Yeah.
Bit young.
I wonder why she were like that. I mean, you're giving out your Snapchat, you might want to ask the age first. Especially when you premise the fact that this woman is a OF creator. Maybe you don't want to be giving stuff like that out too quickly. But realistically, how did she not know his age? Just look at him here. He looks like a fucking child. Just because he's got the lady killer haircut, which is absolute gash, it doesn't mean that he's over the age of 18, Tash.
and then I was just like, you know what, let's just go out for dinner tomorrow. And she was going to Napa the next day, so I knew if I ain't gonna shoot my shot, realistically, in a week's time when she comes back from Napa,
She ain't gonna care.
someone. So I just thought, just meet me tomorrow. So I got one of the boys to drop me there, and then we ended up going for some Nando's, and then
A brilliant little Nando's date, literally the most basic date that you could ever have. And then also mentioned, oh, my mate's dropped me off. Yeah, because you can't drive because she's 16. But he made the first move, all right? So Tasha is not in the wrong, right?
I don't know why, but we ended up going to the cinema.
Awful first date
Because
choice.
you can't go anywhere else.
There was
You can't go to a bar.
There was literally about it.
I think the interviewer hit the nail on the head. It's because you can't go anywhere else. Where are you going to go? You're not going to go to a bar, are you? You're not going to be doing shots down the local. You're not going to be doing anything like that. You might be sitting around a corner shop trying to buy a vape. I then went on to see loads and loads of videos which are highlighting this age gap problem because obviously 16 to 21, it's a bit weird. I don't think I need to tell you why, but there is a large experience gap between these two. Like, she has gone through her adult life, 3 years of it, 3 entire years. Meanwhile, he's 2 years away from being an adult. He's literally a minor. She's also an OF model, which I will get onto, but what's going on there? Are you sending him nudes? How can your work be on the internet, like your main job, and then your boyfriend can't even look at your work because it would be illegal? Obviously, that one's going to be kept under the rug. With all of the backlash that was going on social media around so many people making videos and clipping up things of them, it was very obvious that she needed to respond to this because she is the adult in the situation, quite literally. And the way that she pivots herself constantly in this stuff is just embarrassing, and it really isn't creating a very good argument as to why. And I can't tell whether she's someone who's just a bit dim or a bit childish-like in their nature to be doing this. But her responses trying to normalise this situation end up just going in her face because she literally does the stupidest arguments ever. Tash is definitely someone who is very open with what she does on the platform, even showing, obviously, her mum responding, make your money, do your thing, enjoy yourself, and it definitely gives a good vassal for that, but then also don't go and get with someone who legally cannot look at your stuff. And this is why it's such a weird grey area in the law, because Marko can go and he can clatter and he can enjoy himself in that sort of sense, but he can't go and view her actual social media in that sense. People were obviously going on Tasha's social media and digging up some of the old stuff that she said because she chats a lot of shit on the platform, and well, there's this here. Yeah, he's either got to be massively younger or older, hasn't he? Marko supposedly went 16 in January. Tasha in November is going to be 22, so they're going to be 16 and 22 for a little bit. Super weird, super odd, and if the slipper was on the other gender where a man is dating a 16-year-old, they would look at it very differently. Despite what Tasha's saying in that I was 14 dating a 21-year-old and no one batted an eyelid. Well, did you tell anyone? I think if you told someone of adult age, they would definitely know that that is super duper wrong. But it turns out in her past, she prefers older men. When he's older, taller than you, has tattoos and a good flirt to roast ratio. Well, the guy you're with now is definitely not older than you, and he can't get a tattoo without his parental consent. Deep that as well, if they even go on holiday, he's got to ask his mum to give permission. But also do note, this is not a slight on Marko at all. This guy's 16, he's a kid. Like, he is literally a kid. He doesn't know better, despite what you're going to see that he thinks he does, but Tash really does. Or at least she really should. I don't know why she's acting like this. With all this backlash on social media, because it literally went viral, like over 1 million likes on one of the TikToks that I saw, she had to come out and she had to respond to it because she was getting so much hate from it. And although some of the hate was very unjustified, I really do think this response is terrible. On a level with some of the worst YouTube responses I've ever seen, like the I'm not Tory.
Never in a million years did I think that I would be making a video like this, but here we are. But if you're seeing this, then I'm sure you have a little bit of an insight as to my current situation.
You really didn't think this were going to be a problem? Because I can assure her there is definitely a very obvious problem here.
Hi, I'm Tasha, I'm 21 years old, and I've been doing social media for 6 years now. As I'm sure that you can agree, with putting myself out in the public eye for 6 years of my life, that can come with a lot of consequences. Obviously a lot of hateful and hurtful comments.
Obviously, if you project yourself in the public eye, you're going to get backlash for it. Everyone gets it, and that's totally normal. It is an unfortunate situation that we just got to deal with, but I've been doing social media 6 years. What, you mean you've had an Instagram account 6 years? This is what I never really get with these influencers that just go out and like their entire like projection on social media is just going on holidays or trying to get people to book trips with them. It's just weird. I've been posting on Instagram 6 years, so this is my story. You've been doing social media almost as long as the age gap difference between you and your boyfriend.
Over the years, I've been called absolutely every name under the sun. I've had every single one of my insecurities and my flaws picked at, prodded up, and put all over the internet. And quite frankly, I've never let it get to me. I've sat back and, you know what, I've let people say what they want to say about me.
So we're a minute in, and this is all about what you've had in the past on social media. It's not really anything to do with the current situation that you're in. I don't know if you've had any drama or situations, but it really does seem that this has nothing to do with it.
But anyway, I digress. So the reason that I'm making this video today is obviously to talk about my relationship. So I am in a relationship with someone who is 5 years younger than me, and I know a lot of people are going to have their opinions on that, and quite rightly so. You are allowed to have your opinions on anything. That's your free will. I've seen a lot of comments and videos from bullies saying, you know what you're doing is wrong, and this is why you said that you wasn't going to meet him, or you was unsure of meeting him. That is not the case.
So you say it's fine for people to have their opinions, but then you call the people that are saying you know what you're doing's wrong a bully. There is no bullying to that. There is definitely going to be some bullies that are going to be online saying some horrible things about you, but that is just critiquing what you're seeing. I'm seeing a minor in the eyes of the UK law that is going out with someone 5 years older than them. And I personally think that's really wrong, and I don't see how I'm bullying in any way, shape or form by saying that. If you know what you're doing is morally not right, why are you doing it?
One as to why I was so unsure about, meeting my boyfriend and pursuing anything with him is because of the backlash that I was going to face. And that is, quite frankly, only down to opinion. Nothing else. Opinions, that is it. Nothing to do with what's right, what's wrong, just opinions. I also was unsure of meeting him because I have actually never dated someone younger than me before in my life. I didn't know what kind of challenges that was going to bring forward for me, but regardless, I'm in a relationship with him now. It's my life. I'm going to live my life how I want to live my life. If I decide I want to be in a relationship with him, I can, because it is legal.
It's quite a few challenges because every single day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. he's going to have to be legally in school for the next 2 years. You're going to learn how to drive and pick him up after school, maybe take him round Mackey's, get him a mayo chicken or a cheeseburger. Then you can go home and play some Fortnite together. Now that is a lovely relationship. Also, just to say, you can find it morally wrong or right, but it's all down to opinion. Well, yeah, but that's exactly what morality is based on, opinion. A couple hundred years ago, you could marry a 12-year-old. Does that mean it's right? No. The social norms of society have changed over time, and they are currently saying that a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old, that's fucking weird. And the reason you're getting so much hate is because so many people as well think that's so weird. But I hope you like going and having mocktails together.
I have to say that this boy is genuinely the most mature, kindest, loving person that I've ever been in a relationship with.
Yeah, we'll get onto that because that's not true. He might be very mature for a 16-year-old, but that probably brings you up to like a 17 or 18-year-old boy. And it's so evident with what he posts that that's the case.
Now listen, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck about the 12-year-olds that are commenting hate towards me and my family and stuff like that. It's when I've got the grown-ass women directing hate towards my family and telling me that I should get a noose and do something with it.
Obviously, that's terrible, but she's saying grown-ass women, and she's saying that like every grown-ass woman does that. I'm sure the majority of grown-ass women are saying that they have seen stuff like this when they were younger, between a male and a female, but the other way around, and it's so wrong, so why would you do it? Obviously, I'm not going to condone anything that has been said like that. It's disgusting, abhorrent. She shouldn't be doing that, obviously, especially when mental health is so important. But you can also improve on your mental health by not doing a morally wrong thing by getting with a barely 16-year-old child.
And you're sitting there, oh, if it was my son, if it was my daughter. I'm sorry, but how would you feel if your son or daughter was getting told by someone your fucking age to go and kill themselves? I think you'd have a bit of a problem with that as well, wouldn't you?
Obviously, that bit's wrong, but it doesn't ignore the fact of everything else that has been said that is right.
I can't wrap my head around is the fact that if you don't like something that you're seeing on your For You page, you don't like a creator, you don't like a relationship, you don't like a situation, there is a block button. You don't need to sit there behind your screens as a keyboard warrior commenting on shit that has nothing to do with you. Is it affecting your life? No, it's not. Me and my boyfriend are in a very, very, very loving, beautiful, happy, healthy relationship.
At this point, remember, they've been together about 2 months, so it's not really, this is like love of my life stuff. You're dating a 16-year-old for 2 months. This is his first girlfriend, probably. And also, what are you on about? They're entitled to their opinion, but it's not your life, so block me if you don't like it. It doesn't mean it's wrong. Like, what are we going to do in the future if people, like, for example, commit crimes? What are we going to do? We're going to ignore it because it doesn't shouldn't affect my life. What is the social pivot in here? Why does that make any sense?
And obviously I'm going to take a few more steps in this now, within like the blocking and the deleting of comments, because it's just getting out of hand. Just because I've said that you have your own right to have an opinion on my relationship doesn't mean that you have the right to try and bring people down to your level.
I think you're the one that's down there that we have to get to your level, and I don't think we're going down there. So she's censoring comments, she's censoring this, that, everything, and I get that. I do get that when there's so much hate that's going away, but the only reason that there's so much hate going away is because of this. I'm in a happy, healthy relationship. You uploaded this in 2 months after you'd first seen him. It does feel a bit like first love sort of thing, and it did because this guy's 16, but it also doesn't really reflect well on you at 21.
This to anyone who has happened to have left any, hateful comments or made any videos or anything about me. I really, really do hope that you find it within yourself to overcome whatever you're going through. You know what I do feel incredibly sorry for you. The fact that, you're struggling so much that you can't focus on your own life and your own goals and your own aspirations, that you have to focus so much on other people's lives. So, you know what, I really do pray for you, and I hope that you come out the other side, because absolutely no one deserves to have that level of self-hatred for themselves.
So that's in response to people commenting on her relationship, which is morally wrong, after saying that you can be totally fine to have your opinion and voice your own opinion on a platform. It's really sickening, really. It's not right. It's so wrong. Mentally, morally. Oh, yeah, get it off. But even the comments of this video show a very similar story. A lot of people are saying, wait, is this actually legal? And yeah, it is, but is it right? No. And that's because she's saying, is it legal? Because she can't believe it. And the only positive comments around this situation, apart from some of Tasha's friends that seem to just be gassing her up for no reason, is basically like teenage boys saying, oh, go on, Marko, you're doing well. And I won't lie, if I was in a situation where I was single at 16 and I got with someone like Tasha, I'd obviously be gassing it up. And people would be like, oh, how's he done that then? And it's by design, because it is essentially like some form of like bride and grooming. Not by definition, but it is a person who is much, much older, much, much more mature, or should be more mature, dating someone who doesn't have a clue about life because they've never experienced a day of like autonomy in their life because they are a child. And you could use the case of, oh, well, he's so mature for his age, as much as you want, but that's not Teflon. That's not gonna stick. It's something that if it happened to me when I was younger, I'd have been really gassed about it, and then once it inevitably fell apart because we are at 2 separate life points, I get a couple of years older and I realise how odd that was. Why would someone at that age have any sort of experience with someone younger? What would they get up to? How did they even, how do you meet each other? How do you go out with each other when you can't go to 18 plus events? On top of this as well, she's like an ambassador for like some, I don't know, some like party touring thing in like Spain, where they go out and they do like package holiday stuff where they'll go to like bars and things. She's been doing this kind of thing for years, and well, Marko's got 2 years until he even has one experience like that. You're at totally different life points, you're at totally different experience points, so how are you mashing together and even making it work? What do you even talk about? Oh, did you have a good day at fucking school today, love? Yeah, it was beautiful. Oh, I'm proud of you. I'm gonna go do my life insurance now. And I mean, she's handling it well because she's doing like the most basic responses ever to it.
I just don't have the energy for this. I am unsubscribing from this drama.
The only way that you can unsubscribe from this drama is if you two break up. Also going on the defense tour with stuff like this. Your message to the haters is that you're gonna hug each other? What? You didn't even give a message out. What do you mean message to the haters? But we're not really haters. We think that you're doing a morally wrong act and you keep doing it. And Tasha's still out doing this stuff, like clubbing, enjoying herself, which is something that Marko cannot deal with, as we'll get onto. Because Tash as well keeps saying, like I say, that he's so mature for his age, he's so grown up, and well, he did a response video himself, and although I don't think people should give any hate whatsoever to Marko because he doesn't understand the situation that he's in, it's just insightful to see what he thinks about it at this time, and he's definitely done it in a mature way because he's done a response video in the dark with his top off. Everyone knows you got to do a topless apology video.
So if you have been on TikTok recently in the past few months, you've probably seen my relationship with me and Tash. I'm 16, she's 21. And you've probably seen all the disgusting comments, all the nasty videos that I've made about my relationship. And especially if you saw the hate that my girlfriend is getting, it's fucking disgusting. Like, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. You should all be generally ashamed of yourselves.
I don't think all of us should be ashamed at all, Marko. I think that what you're in is a very turbulent situation. I don't think you should be in it. I feel like you should get out personally, because it's gonna be too late at some point. Like, yeah, she might be the most conventionally attractive woman that you've seen in a while, but she definitely is miles apart from you. And also, both Tasha and Marko have both mentioned about the nasty hate comments, and you're always going to get 1%, 2% of that, and it's going to be triple because of this situation. It's not right, it's so wrong, but there's no other way around it. It's how the internet works. If you're going to do something so turnt on the internet, that's what you're going to get, unfortunately.
Like, you're making it out like I'm a kid. You're fully making it out like I'm an actual child. Like, I get it, I'm young, but you're making it out like I'm an actual child, and I've got nothing, like, I've got no say in this relationship.
Well, Marko, I think if you look at the UK legal definition for a minor, you are under that. You are not classed as an adult because you haven't turned 18. You can't vote. You can't go and buy cigarettes. You can't go and drink anywhere. You might think that you're really old and mature for your age, but you're genuinely not.
At the end of the day, I'm 16. I'm mature enough to understand what I'm doing. I'm mature enough to understand what I want. And all these comments going, I'm getting this. I know what I'm doing. Like, what are you yapping about? It's just so pathetic. I don't understand it.
It's because of your age, Marko. You definitely don't know what you're doing, because if I was in your situation, I'd probably be acting exactly like you. I'll be honest, but it's a problem of our society. Everyone should bat an eyelid, because it's not really the age gap problem, which I've seen Tasha talk about quite a few times, that it's the age gap that's the problem. It's not the age gap necessarily, it's the experience gap between them. If a 21 and 26-year-old get together, if a 21 and a 28-year-old get together, it's totally fine, in my opinion, because they are at a very mature stage of life. Within reason, of course. But at 16, you've just finished secondary school. You've got another 2 years of school to go legally before you can go anywhere. And she's been going around partying for 3 years. Like, come on, like, it's so different. Why do you think she's going for you and not the people that are potentially older than her or at the same age that have been going around doing the exact same thing as her, like partying, things like that? If she wants to settle down, she probably wants to settle down with someone of age who can get a mortgage.
But if you were one of the nasty people that commented all them things and made videos about my relationship, please take a deep look at yourself. Like, what are you doing? I understand not everyone's going to agree with this relationship. I really do understand that, and people are going to have opinions, and you're more than happy to have one.
Right, so I'm going to go have a look in the mirror now, because I genuinely don't know what I'm doing because he said that. Like I said, Marko doesn't understand what's going on fully because he's not old enough to have that comprehension level to be able to read a room. It is a manipulation because it's a massive power dynamic, because she is so much older and potentially more mature. Once again, no hate to Marko at all because he doesn't understand, but it's really mad because Tasha is getting him to go on the defensive. But like I said, Tasha thinks that he's this really mature man, and well, he's not a man because he's a kid in the eyes of the law, but sorry, little diversion, but yeah, apparently he's so mature. Well, why is he saying stuff like this?
A straight up question, man to man.
Right.
When you first messaged her, was she just another number?
Yeah.
Was it just, yeah, I'm going to try chop it,
Yeah.
sweet as?
100%. But then I met her and I thought, you know what, like, this girl was just, she's such a nice girl. No, I get along with her. She's such a nice girl. Like, she's generally, I would feel like if I, like, did anything like that to her.
Obviously, when I first met her, it was just I'm going to try chop. I'm just on the back shots thing until I met her, and then she ended up being pretty nice. What a mature lad to see her liking posts and then decide, oh, I'm just going to try and, bash her in. Try and get 3 minutes of pure fury out of a 21-year-old. I'm sure every mature man will look at this and think that is definitely how you handle a situation with a woman that you like. Just try and mash the thing, bruv. It's easy. The way they've handled this situation from the start was weird, but then it also gets so much worse because they started doing a podcast tour for some reason to try and justify everything that's going on. There's one thing I do know, if you're caught in like a controversy like this, you probably don't want to go on a podcast and talk about this stuff. There's two podcasts that they've been on and they're both a bit weird. They both seem to be trying to grab onto the clout, and one of them, the first one we're going to look at, is the initial one that they did, which I find quite ironic because it's a men's mental health podcast. First off, he's not a man. Second off, you should probably know with the power imbalance that's going on, this is probably not good for men's mental health. Just a note from someone who's been through serious mental health implications, it's probably not a good look. And the way that Tasha responds to this situation in both of these podcasts is dreadful.
As cliche as it sounds, like when you're younger and you've got someone like picking on you in school and your mum's like, oh, they're just jealous, or oh, you've got something that they want that they don't have. Like, you've got something that they don't have that you want, whatever it is. That is a lot of how it is, because if I ever sit there and start hating on someone in my own mind, it would never be in public or over social media. It's because I am low-key jealous. I think, oh, why have you got that and I haven't? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really know. I don't really cope with it, but
it's clear that you don't really know. So the reason that everyone's hating on you in this situation is purely because they're jealous that you're with a 16-year-old lad. I'm not really sure that qualifies. I don't think I'm making this video because I'm really jealous that you're with someone at that age. And I don't think I'm jealous either that I'm not with you, considering.
It's seen as a lot different. Even though we live in a society where gender's supposed to be equality, I think the whole with like our men, like sometimes they come across overpowering or controlling over a woman.
I think that's what it is at the end of the day. It's the power imbalance. Men naturally have a power imbalance over women as it is. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that one's worse than the other, but if it was a 21-year-old man and a 16-year-old woman, there's already that power imbalance in the man and the girl. And then you put the age into it, it's like even worse. So I feel like that's where people are like, oh yeah, but if the shoe was on the other foot, yeah, I think it would be worse.
Is it just me, or do I feel like she's kind of just admitted that it is a pretty bad situation? I kind of do think that there is a power imbalance, and men are usually more like advanced in that stage, like more aggravating in that sense. They definitely do have a larger amount of power in a relationship, so what you're essentially saying is you're leveling the playing field by going for someone 5 years younger. You can tell it's not really thought through. You can tell that they don't really know what they're doing. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
And being flown to all the party places, that has come with a lot of backlash. Like, it's absolutely mental, the amount of messages he gets, like, your girl's doing this, your girl's doing that. But the thing is, it's even like, oh yeah, your girl was getting around someone on the Malia booze cruise. I was sat on one bench the whole time, didn't drink at all, and he saw that. Obviously I Snapchat him all the time and I message him all the time about my whereabouts, not because he wants me to, but because I want to prove to him. You know, we're in early stages.
Or is it not because you can't go out with them? Marko can't really come out on a tour with you, can he? So, I mean, I don't know. Also admitted that you're in the early stages, but I swear down within 2 months I was seeing I love you comments between both of you. It's a little bit sad. It genuinely is first love.
The main thing I want to take out of this, and especially with the whole broadcast podcast thing, is that we focus on mental health.
And the thing is as well, she's sitting there going, you're a grown woman to me. I'm not. I am still a young girl. Like, people are like, oh yeah, you're 21. In the eyes of the law, you're a grown woman. I'm still a young girl. My life is literally just starting. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Marko's life hasn't even started yet because he's 16. In the eyes of the law, at 18, you are a grown woman. So, I mean, I don't know what you're trying to peddle with this by saying, I'm still a young girl, I've still got lots of experience. Yeah, you're still 21, and he's still 16. And at 21, you should know better than not being with a 16-year-old because they are two totally separate avenues.
I think that's only because of the social media though, because, not gonna lie, when I was 16 I was seeing a 24-year-old. No one batted an eyelid. Do you know what I mean? It's only because it's in the public eye and we've given people, like, we have a platform and we give people a platform to have an opinion and comment on us too and our lives and things like that.
That is so wrong. I covered it in the start of the video. I didn't clock. It was 16 and 24, which is so much worse. Like, there's no qualification for that. You cannot say that because you was getting this sort of situation when you were younger, it means that you could do it to someone when you're that age. That screams of trauma. It's not right. None of the situations are right here. One of them is genuinely worse because that is a crime. But this one is just bad. How can you try and qualify your relationship by saying that and that it's just because of social media? There's nothing to do with social media. It's pure morals. It's pure what a lot of people stand on. And a lot of people think that this is very wrong. I just don't get the pivoting at all.
I'm very happy in this relationship. Like, she's made me very happy. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, if I was in that position where I didn't know what I wanted and, you know, Tasha was putting it on me, that's when it gets bad, you know? But all these people that are saying all that and that, it's just pathetic. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm at that age where I know, like, what I want, and this is what I want, like.
Well, yeah, at 16, I probably wanted something very similar. Does it mean it's right? No, I want to have a date with Margot Robbie. Like, what? Is it going to happen? No. Why? Because we're at two totally separate stages, and she's a celebrity. It's just making no sense in his head at all, and it's not right. And just because you think you're mature, it doesn't mean that you are.
It's not illegal. Me personally, me being if I was a 21-year-old, I wouldn't go for someone younger. But like I said before, you're a lot maturer than most of the boys that I know at that age. I wouldn't ever consider myself as a friend to someone who was below the age of 20. But you've proven to me, as someone who's very close to Tasha, that age doesn't really mean nothing.
What a absurd statement. Age doesn't really mean nothing. No, I'm sorry. If you befriended 16-year-olds, you're a bit weird as it is. He's very mature for his age. He's so mature for his age. Well, what does that mean? He's still that age. I can have my head screwed on at 12, but does it mean that I could be going into a relationship with a 19-year-old? No. It's just mental the way that Tasha tries to pivot it that way. I cannot see it any other way than wrong. It's also this one called The Blue Tick Show, where they did an interview which is just the exact same thing, but it's a little more outlandish. Showed a clip earlier. It's bad. It's bad. Be prepared.
And what was your experience like?
I thought he was really boring.
For real?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was just complaining the whole time.
He
like,
was complaining the whole time about how tired he was and stuff like that. And obviously, in my eyes, cinema is an awful choice for a first date. But in all fairness, I did say that I hadn't packed or anything like that for Napa, and I was literally flying in a couple of hours. I was like, I wanted to do something chill, something local, something chill. So.
But the problem is you can't go anywhere different. Got a very limited amount of options of places that you could go for dates when you're 16. It's nice to know that this lad was very mature and he was worrying about being so tired all the time. And, well, it's because he had his GCSEs. He was legitimately in the process of doing his GCSEs, which are the first exams that you could do. It's mental.
Let's go chill kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And he doesn't act it like he doesn't seem his age.
What about the fact he couldn't pick you up? Like, because to me that's a big thing. Like, I'm the man, I'm coming to pick you up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, even when I was younger, I used to chat to girls who were older, I'll be honest about it, but not picking them up was just...
Yeah, it pisses me off. It pisses me off.
Can't drive because I'm 16. Look, see, he's just so mature. He's so mature. He's that mature, he can't drive. Do you know who else would be mature? Someone who's over the age of 18.
You do that party hard thing, right?
Yes.
With a few, like, I know people who do it as well, and it is party hard.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that? Like, now you're obviously official, right? You're a couple. Is she still allowed to do it?
Truthfully, no chance.
Oh, she's not allowed to do it?
Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. I told her if she keeps doing it, then I'm not respecting that. Like, as much as I am a boy, right, you got to realise...
She's just finding out about this now, that she's not allowed to do it.
What a mature man to tell a woman what to do. Nah, you're not allowed to go partying anymore. What? I think I'll do what I fucking want because at this point you can't even drink. Just how can she say that he's mature and then 2 minutes later he pulls out that card where she's dictating what she's allowed to do in her life? Like, this is her job, right? This is the job that she does. She works for an events company. She goes out and she parties hard. So why can't she do her job now because she's met you? Bear in mind as well, she's currently doing OF on top of that. So what? Such a mature statement from such a mature 16-year-old man.
But go on. Sorry for interrupting.
Wait, what was that on about?
You're saying even if it's just these girls, this is what I have an issue about.
Yeah, like, bruv, it's just the people that approach her, innit? Like, I can't put... Like, to be fair, when she went on these holidays, I could have went with her, like...
Yeah,
the party hard people was like, yeah, it's cool. But at the time, my passport was expired.
Oh, long.
Exactly, so I invited him to every single one.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Inviting a 16-year-old to go and drink and go partying and clubbing with you? That's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't think I really need to say anything else than that.
And how would you say dating someone younger is going?
It's going better than any of the others that I've been with.
Really?
100%. I've never met someone so, like, respectful in my life. It's crazy.
The guy who was saying that at first you were just a mash to him is the mature man. I think that's more of an indication of the type of people that you go for, Tasha. You go for these people who are horrible, it seems. Well, it must be if a 16-year-old lad is doing better than the majority of men that you've been around. Maybe you want to sort your priorities out of who you're chasing instead and go for the same age, if not a bit older.
Do you not miss out on the having an older man kind of thing? Like having that, babe, I'm picking you up, we're going for dinner.
No, because I don't obsess over his age like everyone else does. Like everyone else is so obsessed with his age and they're like, you're this, you're that, you like younger men. It's like, no, I just don't factor in his age. Like granted, I know his age, but it's not something I sit there and think about all the time. Like, oh yeah, he's 16. Like, come on. Yeah, no one's going to think that. No.
Yeah, and the reason why I don't do stuff like this is because I'm not spawn camping a 16-year-old. Like if someone's 16 and they came up to us, I would not be pursuing it with them because of the fact they're 16. And that's the entire point, that you went for it, you pursued it when you know it's morally wrong. There's a big experiential gap. You guys shouldn't be together. What do you talk about?
Obviously, I've been under a lot of stress the past.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like,
I've not been myself.
It has impacted her a lot worse than I could have ever thought.
Yeah, because you got to remember as well, before obviously this happened, she was doing nothing on socials, she was doing well.
Exactly. She's never had this type of hate before. Now it's all hit her at once.
I wonder why it's all hit her at once. Could it potentially be this that has caused it? I don't know. It's like running into a brick wall and then wondering why your nose hurts.
Do you know what as well? I do get it from the older lot. Like the guys who are our age, your age kind of thing, looking at it thinking, what the f*** are you doing with a 16-year-old? You can find someone way older, like way better kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think it comes down to...
I don't even need to say anything. This is excruciating.
TikTok, Instagram, what was the last one, sorry?
Fans.
Okay. And how does that affect you? Because like at the minute, you're getting hit with...
You know what?
She's going on party holidays. She does this. Now she does fans. Were you one of them boys who were like, I'd never date an OF girl?
100%. Yes, 100%. But when I first met her, like, I swear to God, I didn't actually know you did it. I didn't even know she did it. Because you don't know, like, when you picture an fans girl in your head, you're thinking, yeah, she's a suck. Like,
it's true.
You know what I mean?
True.
But then when you actually generally meet them, like, just normal people, but they're just doing that for money. But
I don't think I can comment again. That is just so unfathomably stupid. You just think they're a slut, but it turns out that they're not. They're normal people. These people who actually go and just do sex work, which is totally normal and fine, like, they're normal. What? That says a lot more about the maturity of him in his brain to think that as it does anything else. Like, why is she sitting there and just allowing it? Also, you didn't know she did it because you're not allowed anywhere near them sites. You get blocked from them.
You're both loving each other. You're like living that high life, if that makes sense. But do you not talk about the long term?
Yeah, of course we do. I think anyone does, no matter how
fresh it is.
Yeah, you always talk about your future plans with your partner.
And what are your future plans?
I'm gonna marry that girl.
You're gonna right? Me.
I'm gonna marry that girl one day.
Well, good luck with that. I'm sure this relationship is perfectly normal and fine. This entire thing is so tapped. It's so wrong. I don't get why she's even pretending that it's normal, and the way that she tries to pivot it is actually insane. And I won't lie, the first time I saw this, because I've seen quite a lot of the outlandish stuff with especially OF girls that do a lot of stuff on like social media for attention. I saw this relationship come up on my For You page and I genuinely thought that this was a joke, like this was something to promote OF. But it's been a couple of months, there's been too many photos of them together. They are definitely together, which really scares me. It's such a weird precedent. I feel so sorry for the lad that thinks that he's totally fine in this situation. It's not right. And Tasha doing her moral grandstanding across this stuff and projecting it by saying the majority of the time it's because of all of the hate and she'll pick out the nastiest points, ignoring the actual problem at fore, the fact that she is a 21-year-old woman turning 22 in November, dating a 16-year-old. You are at two totally different life points. You two do not or should not be in a room together and be able to get on in that kind of way. It's legal. It's all legal. It's all above board. Like she said about the police can't do anything about it. Yeah, they can't, but it doesn't mean it's right. I really think Tasha needs to come to her senses and realise this situation is a bit deeper than what she thinks, and it's not just the fact that the haters are hating on her, it's the fact of it is morally weird, wrong, unacceptable. As a 25-year-old, I think back to when I was 16 and I think about how childish I was in retrospect to now. I look at it at 18, exact same thing. I look at 21, exact same thing. You grow over time, and 21, you're at a pretty good pivot point. You are miles ahead of anyone else who is 16, 17, 18, whether a man or a woman. Like I said, I don't agree with all the hate that's going on that is very nasty. All of the nastiness shouldn't be there. And I know you're talking about how it affects your mental health, and if it does, go get checked, go get looked after. And also note that this entire thing has come out because you have done a morally wrong thing. It's just so weird. For the sake of the lad, I do just hope they end up splitting parts and he can realise when he's a couple of years older how weird this situation is, and do not marry her. But that's all I've got for today, so if you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like and sub. I would love to see you back. I've been Jake Baz, and I'll see you later. Take care.